A pair of high schoolers find themselves stuck on a tropical island, forced to depend on each other to stay alive. During their ordeal, they uncover hidden aspects of themselves and each other, all while their affection for one another grows. The movie begins with Emma, a diligent student who's her class's top performer, and Dean, a lazy boy who playfully dubs her the prom queen. Emma, organized and disciplined, starts her day early, checking her schedule. In contrast, Dean awakens, rushes to the bathroom, and immediately engages in video games. His father reminds him to attend school. Emma proceeds to school, meeting her friend Lizzie in the hallway. They converse as the class commences, with the teacher announcing an upcoming trip to Trinidad. In a hurry, Emma enters the class, followed by Dean. Their teacher, Christensen, provides more details about the trip. Lizzie informs Emma that Dean is going too, thanks to his wealthy father's connections. Another student named Stephen expresses interest in Emma, but she isn't interested. Lizzie suggests she get closer to Stephen during the trip, but Emma prefers to enjoy it without worrying about romance. Emma notices Dean cutting an apple with a cool knife, which displeases Lizzie. Helen reveals she used to study with Dean and finds him cool. However, a teacher confiscates Dean's oversized knife and takes him to the principal's office for violating the rules. The next day, Emma thanks her mother for allowing her to go on the trip. Dean's rich father drops him off, emphasizing the importance of making the most of the opportunity. Upon boarding the bus, Stephen attempts to flirt with Emma, but she ignores him. After hours on the bus, they arrive in Trinidad. The teacher permits them to have fun outside, but insists they return before dark. The scene transitions to everyone enjoying themselves in the pool. Emma wears a bikini in the pool, and Stephen can't hide his excitement. Dean, on the other hand, stays out of the pool. While Emma swims, she notices Dean on the balcony watching her. Suddenly, Stephen appears, playfully pulls Emma underwater, and Dean walks away. The following day, the students engage in construction under Mr. Christensen's guidance, building a small school for Trinidad's children. Dean impressively performs backflips, causing Stephen to express concern to Emma, believing Dean will ruin the trip. Later, Emma video calls her parents when Jude informs the girls that Stephen has invited them to a boat party. Emma isn't keen on going, but Lizzie persuades her to join. That evening, they head to the party, but Emma's mood dampens when she sees Stephen kissing another girl. Dean is also present and asks Emma if she likes Stephen, to which she responds that she's not interested in such matters. Police arrive and order everyone off the boat. Emma falls into the sea unnoticed, except by Dean. He jumps in, helps her into a dinghy, and, in an attempt to avoid trouble, cuts the line attaching the dinghy to the boat, only to realize there's no motor. Emma wants to return to the bigger boat, but Dean insists they wait until the police leave. However, a storm hits, preventing them from returning. As the storm intensifies, they desperately hold on in their little dinghy. The next day, Christiansen announces the trip's cancellation due to the previous night's party. Lizzie informs the teacher that Emma didn't return. Meanwhile, Emma and Dean, having survived the storm, find themselves near a Caribbean island. Dean and Emma scan the horizon but see nothing but water stretching far ahead. They remain distant from the island. Dean takes out his phone only to discover it's water damaged. He suggests Emma check her phone, which is undamaged, but she laments the lack of signal. Meanwhile, Christian takes attendance and realizes Dean is missing. Emma tells Dean they should have followed the party boat earlier, but he remains unconvinced. Emma then spots an island and they steer towards it. Christiansen reports to the police about the missing students and asks if they can help. The officers express uncertainty due to the sea's vastness. After some effort, Emma and Dean manage to reach the island. Emma checks her phone again, but still finds no signal. Dean finds a gun on the island and decides to keep it. Dean's worried father learns of his son's disappearance and rushes to the school to meet the principal. Barbara, Emma's mother, is also there. Both parents inquire about the missing kids, but the principal has no definitive information. On the island, Emma and Dean explore, entering a forest where they encounter a waterfall. Dean finds it beautiful and asks Emma to take a photo, but she declines, not wanting to worsen their situation. They climb a hill for a better view, but find no one. They decide to return to the beach, where Dean notices a cave. He asks Emma to use her phone's torch, and as they approach the cave, they are startled by a group of bats. They fall into a pool near the waterfall and enjoy themselves. Upon returning to the beach, they discover their boat is gone, leaving only a life jacket. With no other option, Dean suggests they attempt to build their own boat. They search for materials but come up empty-handed, eventually sitting down together. As the sun sets, its beauty captivates Dean's attention while Emma talks to him. She inquires about why he calls her prom queen, and he simply responds that she's very beautiful. Meanwhile, their parents wait at the airport, preparing to fly to Trinidad in search of their missing children. Emma and Dean sit closer together as night falls. Emma hears a noise, but Dean advises her to ignore it and notices she's feeling cold, offering her his shirt. They eventually drift off to sleep. The next morning, Dean awakens to find Emma etching an SOS message on the beach. He takes a swim while she watches. Meanwhile, their parents arrive in Trinidad. Christensen informs them that the police are searching for their kids. The dinghy used by the kids the previous night remains missing, and there's still no sign of them. Jack, Dean's father, gives money to speed up the search efforts. Emma's sister calls, eager for an update, but their parents can't provide one yet. Emma heads to the waterfall for water, once again hearing the mysterious noise but finding nothing. They discover coconuts, bananas, and other fruits, even constructing a hut. Dean grows weary and falls asleep. Emma joins him, and he places his hand on her back, a gesture she appreciates. The next day, as Emma washes in the waterfall, Dean inquires about sunscreen. She directs him to the bag, but he insists he couldn't locate it. Her suspicion grows, suggesting there may be someone else on the island. Meanwhile, Jack takes to the skies in a helicopter to search for the kids. Emma stumbles upon a human skull, terrifying her. Dean comforts and embraces her, leading to a kiss and more intimate moments. The following morning, Emma can't find Dean and becomes frantic. She calls out for him and searches the forest, eventually discovering him digging. Puzzled, she questions his behavior, and in a misstep, she falls and injures herself. Dean tends to her wound, and they later enjoy themselves by the waterfall. Dean opens up to Emma, revealing he's reserved at school due to losing his mother in an accident. Rain falls the next day, and Emma and Dean have a playful time. They grow closer emotionally and physically. A month passes, and Lizzie and the other girls learn from the news that the search for Emma and Dean has ceased. Lizzie is devastated. While Emma and Dean cherish their time together, their parents are consumed with worry. Barbara, having distributed flyers with their kids' photos, is losing hope. She returns home, but Jack remains determined to find them. On the island, Emma and Dean revel in the natural beauty and each other's company. Their affection deepens, and they express their feelings for one another. Emma confides that Dean seems quite different outside of school, and Dean reciprocates by confessing his attraction to her. One day, they're in the forest when Emma hears a passing helicopter. They rush to the beach to create a signal, searching for a flare gun, but they can't find it in time, and the helicopter flies by. Emma's convinced someone else is on the island as their belongings continue to vanish. Curiosity leads them to follow a jungle roar, revealing a black panther. Dean flees, but later, Emma discovers him beside the defeated panther, holding a knife. He had killed the beast to protect her. As Emma and Dean's relationship deepens, they discuss their desire for children and the challenges of island life. Concerns about her family and the realities of their situation strain Emma's emotions. One day, their stolen items start dropping from a tree, revealing a mischievous monkey. Emma fires the flare gun to signal for help, despite Dean's reluctance, as he's grown attached to their island life. 100 days pass on the island. Finally, a helicopter spots them, and they are rescued. They return to a warm welcome from friends and family at the airport. Emma's popularity at school rises while Dean, still somewhat of an outsider, hesitates to approach her in public. Adjusting to everyday life strains their relationship, causing distance between them. Emma attends the prom, and Dean reluctantly joins, encouraged by his father. Spying on Emma from outside, he watches her through the window. With encouragement from her friend Lizzie, Emma approaches Dean. They share a passionate kiss, dance together, and the movie concludes on this heartfelt note. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.